Alright, so welcome back to another edition of Cooking the Basics, aka slash rebelgrove.com 10 weekend thoughts recipe of the week. So this week I am going to be making homemade egg pasta. If you probably didn't guess it, egg pasta. If you ever said pasta, it comes from Italy. If you ever said noodles, it comes from Asia. Please again, never tell an Italian that you would like some noodles first and foremost. There's two different kinds of pasta that you have. You have your egg pasta, which is going to be mainly in the north regions, central north regions of Italy. The reason that they have the egg pasta as opposed to the south's a little bit hotter. Also with that, the eggs don't really go well with seafood, and so if you're thinking about the south of Italy, it's going to be more seafood dominant, and so they're actually going to eliminate the eggs from the actual pasta recipe. And so when you go more north, you have more cows, you have a cooler climate, incorporation of eggs. There you go, the two differences about that. When it comes to pasta dough, you actually don't want that gluten formation for yourself. So whenever you have your dry ingredients, you incorporate your eggs, egg yolks, sometimes some egg whites and that, but mainly egg yolks. Once the dough comes together, you stop everything. And then after that, we'll let it rest for maybe 20 minutes at room temperature, and then we will proceed to roll it out. If you do have a lot of gluten formation, which is the incorporation of liquid into any flour, okay, it's not just water, it's any liquid into flour, that'll create gluten once you begin to work it. So just a FYI for that. And when you're making pasta, the more gluten you have, the more that when you try to roll it out, quote unquote, it'll roll out, but then it'll shrink back, kind of like Laffy Taffy did back in the day, if you ever had that. I will be doing it the homemade method because I do not have a mixer here, and I'm also in quarantine still. So I'll be using a fork. I'll go over the little things behind me. What you need is very, very simple. If you do have a pasta roller at home, what I would recommend is that you will start off on, I think it's number 1, and then go to a number 5 for the thinness. We're looking for about 2 millimeters in thickness once we do finish rolling it out. And we're going to make my favorite noodle, which is called a pappardelle, which is about a 1 inch. And so I'm just going to go grandmother style, use my thumb to measure, and that's going to be my 1 inch, quote unquote. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get started. All right, scale, roller, in French, rolling pin. Fork, flour, semolina, salt, eggs, knife, plastic wrap. So really simple. All we're going to do now, mix them with your hand. So you're mixing semolina, flour, salt, and then double zero flour in. Got a work surface that is clean and coronavirus free, and you're going to pour it right down. Then you get to go back to whenever you're a kid in a sandbox. You're literally going to make a circle. Make a well in the center best you can. Insulate the fork. Voila. With your fork, you're going to start off, whisk your egg yolks. And again, this is mainly egg yolks. I did incorporate 1 whole egg to get to my measurement that I needed. So you're going to pour it right in the middle. And I'm only pouring half. And the reason is I don't want it to overflow. The dam will break. So you're going to use your fork. And all you're going to do is cut into the bottom of the flour at the bottom of everything. And just slowly incorporate it in. Alright, again, just cutting under the flour. If you want to, you can knock some top in, just like that. Voila. And we're just going to knock it into. You don't want to make a little river pattern coming out, because then you got to go very, very fast. It's not worth it. So essentially make a little slush. Once the slush gets a little more floury, aka like a paste, we'll add more of the eggs. And as you see this, I'm spreading the circle out because the walls on the outside are actually going to get smaller, aka decrease in size, so you spread the circle out as you go. So I'm getting to that paste consistency here. I'm going to add a little bit more, probably about 1/4, and I got 1/4 left. Finish off. No egg left behind. Yes. Now I'm going to start tapping on the top. Just incorporate the flour a little bit quicker. Now you can see at this stage, see that right there? Now you can start incorporating without worrying about the dam breaking, as I just did there. And so once the dough comes a little bit more together, then I'll use both my hands for that. So now we're at this stage. Yay, lump mess. See that? This is where we use my hands. So I'm just gonna make it into a ball, best I can. Push down with your palm, fold over, twist. Push down with your palm, twist, fold over. It's gonna get a little bit messy, and but it's gonna come together very quickly, so don't worry about it. Again, you just want it to come together. So this is what you call the Italian fold method. So what you're gonna do, twist, push in, fold over, push in, fold over, second time, 3 times, push in, fold over, and twist, and then repeat. Push in, fold over, push in, fold over, push in, fold over, and twist. Bing. Alright, so took me about 3 minutes of casually kneading, quote unquote. Looks like my camera's in and out of focus, or maybe it's just me, I don't know. So what I've done now, made it into a little ball, or a disc, excuse me. And I know this is kind of weird, but whenever you're a chef, cook, whatever, like you smell things just because you want to smell things, and it smells like egg pasta. It smells like eggs and flour. It smells really good, by the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this in a plastic wrap and let that sit for 20 minutes, because what we've done with working it, quote unquote, even if it's in a mixer or by hand, is that we've formed a little bit of gluten. And so think about it as your muscles working out, and they're very tense, and so you want to let them relax for a little bit before going back into the game, aka getting a rest. And so that's what we're going to do with the dough. So we're going to wrap it in plastic wrap, make sure that no air can get to it, because then you'll get hard spots on the outside of it, and let it rest for 20 minutes, and then we're going to use our knife to cut it in 4s, and then we'll roll it out. So I'm going to take an espresso right now. because it's the Italian thing to do. Hope you had a good 20-minute break. I had an espresso, so let's get back to it. Use the other half. This will be at the end of the video, but whenever I was making sure that you could see everything, I went down on my finger and I cut it. I know it's a boo-boo, so not happy about it at all. Just want to share you that you know, people up in this profession, we cut ourselves on accident or on purpose, however you want to look at it, and we get really frustrated at ourselves. Very frustrated. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. The pasta will last anywhere for 1 month to 1.5 months, 2 months in your freezer for yourself. Remember, dust it with a little bit of flour, portion it out, which is the easiest way to do. Put on a sheet tray like I've done. I think one person is 160 grams of pasta for one portion, somewhere in there. So portion out your pasta, put it in little balls with the flour, and then yeah, freeze it and you're good to go. And then make sure that you put a lid on it in the freezer and it'll last for you. So cool, Pasta 101.